Hi, everybody. So, if you are dealing with slip ups on your restricted diet, if you're on an anti candida diet or eating sugar free or keto or whatever it is, and you find that you're good for a while and then you just slip up, then I hope what I'm going to share with you today will help. I'm Ricki Heller from rickiheller.com, and I'm a healthy eating coach. I help people learn to stick with their healthy diet so that they can stop focusing so much on the food, enjoy life, and really get to living the life they're meant to live. So I want to tell you a little story about our dog. And if you know me, if you've been following me at all for a while, you know that we got a new puppy just over a year ago. And it has been a struggle, that is to say the least. I will call it a challenge, to say the least. But I noticed something the other day, which was so fascinating, that I think is relevant to what we all do. So we are trying to crate train her, and let's call a cage a cage. It's not a crate, it's a cage. She's in a cage because she's a dog and she can't be let loose. But that's fine because she doesn't know we call it a cage or whether we call it a crate. I digress. So we have her in the crate at night because she doesn't know yet how to behave when she has the run of the house. So she's the kind of dog who still is fascinated by the waste paper basket and will pull little bits of Kleenex out and eat them and end up making herself ill. So for her own protection, we've been putting her in the crate every night, and also for our own peace of mind. And she knows that when I start brushing my teeth and my husband says, time for sleep, and we shut the light, she trots into the cage and we shut the door. And that is something that has been reinforced over time for quite some time now. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I noticed we were in the bedroom and I just started washing up, and my husband was in the other room, and I turned around and there was Zoey in her cage, and she was lying on her mat, ready for sleep. I had not said anything. My husband hadn't said anything. We hadn't let her into the cage. She just trotted in there and lay down herself. And then I went over and I shut the door. And at this point, honestly, I feel as if it's happened enough times that all I need to do is shut the door. I don't even need to latch the door, and she'll probably stay in there all night, right? And then eventually, when she becomes more mature and more able to deal with having the run of the house, we're going to let her out of the cage at night. But I thought about that, and I thought that was amazing, and we were thrilled about it. Well, how does this relate to how you are on your restricted diet? Well, I talk to a lot of clients who have had success for a time, and then there's a slip up. Maybe there's a special occasion. Maybe they go out with work colleagues and everybody's having wine or everybody's having pizza, and they end up eating that. And when I ask them, what do you think it was that led you to eat that food, even though you know it's not the best thing for you, and you had been following your healthier diet for a while and your symptoms were improving and you're actually feeling better, what do you think it was that led you to slip up that way? The answer I most often get is, well, everybody's eating this stuff, and I feel like I should be able to eat this too. And it really bothers me that I can't eat what everybody else eats. And it's just this kind of treat that you give yourself, right? And so I would want to challenge whether or not we are truly doing something good for ourselves and what the motivation is behind that. Because if you feel like you're eating this food because that's a treat, it's a way of being nice to yourself, doing something nice to yourself, something enjoyable, something that makes you feel better. I think for many of us, the problem is that only makes you feel better for a very limited time, right? While you're actually putting the food in your mouth, while you're drinking the wine, while you are there with those people. And of course, it's hardwired within us to want to do this because everybody wants to be part of a tribe or a community or a family. That's part of human nature. We want to be accepted. We want to belong. We want to be part of the group. However, if what we're doing is trying to make ourselves feel loved and accepted, that's a very temporary method, because the outcome of that for you personally is going to be symptoms, flare up, maybe feeling like crap for a few days. And also for so many people, blaming yourself after the fact for having done it. Why did I eat that? I knew I was going to be sick. Why did I do that to myself, right? So in the long run, we have to be aware that that is not truly something helpful. I mean, we may know that after the fact, but in that moment, we don't think about it. We just think, I deserve this. This is something for me, I want to be nice to myself. The reality is, though, being nice to yourself and showing love for yourself and care for yourself is the harder act, right? If you truly cared about yourself, and I'm not saying that you don't care about yourself, but if you were truly able to manifest that care and produce that care in a way that was positive for you, you would not eat that food. And I think the reason so many people succumb in those situations is because their self-worth and their self-love is not grounded firmly enough. It's not a strong enough foundation for so many of us that the way we feel about ourselves is disposable, and it's something we're willing to forfeit in order to have the other people feel good, right? So you would do all kinds of things, like, you know, it's a cliche when parents say to their kids, I'm doing this for your own good, right? Even though it's something the kid may not enjoy. I'm not letting you eat that, or I'm not letting you have that glass of wine. I'm doing it for your own good because you're 6 years old and alcohol is detrimental to your health. Or pull you away from the stove because you want to play right now and that feels good to you, but I know this is better for you. And so I want you to imagine that if you can get through that first slight challenging period, then this is something that becomes better. You become better and better at. And it's the determination and the firmness of your own conviction in your own self-worth and how you feel about yourself, and truly committing to self-love is taking care of my health first. And that's a skill we have to learn, right? We don't all have that. And certainly I was not doing that at the beginning of my journey. It was something I had to learn how to do, to stand up for myself, even in the face of people being disappointed, even in the face of people saying, oh, come on, everybody's having wine, everybody's having pizza, why not you? But it's that firm conviction in yourself and your own future and your own health and your own betterment that is going to get you through those situations. And once you do it enough times, it becomes habit. You don't have to think about it. Just like Zoey, that's what hit me the other day, that the first, I don't know, I'm even going to say couple of weeks, she was a tough case. So the first couple of weeks when we put her in that cage at night, she whined and she cried and she pawed and she tried to get out and she bit the door and all the things that dogs do. But what happened over time was she became totally accustomed to this crate. And now it's her comfort zone. She goes in there by herself and lies down with the door open because it has become habitual. It's just her new natural habitat now. And in fact, from what I understand, many people who have dogs, their dog sleeps in the crate forevermore. It's something they choose to do at that point. So once you get through that initial period where you are standing up for yourself, you are putting yourself first, then it becomes easier and easier and easier, to the point that this is what feels normal. Thanks for the likes. This is what feels comfortable. This is what feels like you. And so I can tell you honestly, now it's been a long time for me, but I can tell you honestly, I do not have those self-doubts anymore, or that feeling of, oh, they're going to be mad at me, or anything like that when I go out with friends and I tell them I'm not going to eat what they're eating. In fact, I had an experience the other week where, I think I mentioned this in an earlier Facebook Live, a friend and I went to a restaurant that was actually, we had chosen it carefully, and she was great about agreeing to go to this place because they had food I could eat. I was thrilled about it. But we happened to be the first people in the place, and they had just cleaned up the floors and the bar with their chemical cleanser. And there was nowhere in that place I could sit where I wasn't smelling those chemicals. And I knew if I can smell them, they're entering my body through my nose. Those are the molecules I'm actually inhaling of those chemical cleansers. And that is not good for someone who is trying to strengthen her immune system and remove toxins from her life. And so I said to my friend, I'm really sorry, but I can't stay here. And she tried to convince me, and I just said, well, I'm really sorry. I can't eat here. I'm going to get sick if I stay in this restaurant. And she said, okay. And we got up and we went to the place next door. The selection wasn't as great for me. I had a salad, which was fine, But I felt good about standing up for my own health, because I knew that if I had agreed with her just to appease her, because she wanted me to eat at that place, I'm the one who would have ended up sick. She would have been fine, but I'm the one who would have ended up with headaches and probably sinus congestion and not feeling good for days after that. And it wasn't worth it to me. And I felt strong enough in my conviction, and I felt strong enough in our friendship that she was going to like me anyway, that I just said I couldn't stay there. And it's the same thing that's going to happen to you. Once you get to a place where you feel confident enough in your own valuing of yourself and your own self-worth, that you are worth putting yourself first, then those kinds of decisions become easy. And you know what happens then? Those events become so much more enjoyable, because you are attending in a way that feels good to you. Your friends understand and respect what you're doing in your life, and everybody's happy in that situation. So you're no longer worrying about what they're going to think first. You worry about putting yourself in a place where you're able to fully engage in that socializing in a way that feels good to you and that benefits everybody. I hope that was helpful. If you want to learn more about this, I'm actually doing a live workshop tomorrow evening, Thursday, February 6th at 8 p.m., all around self-love, how we can increase our self-love and implement it in a way that's practical and easy into our everyday lives, so that those kind of situations can become easier and manageable, and you're not sabotaging your own health along the way, that you're actually supporting and improving your own health along the way. So I hope you will join me. You can just go to rickiheller.com/love me. That's all one word, love me. And anybody can join. This is actually a Sweet Life workshop, but I'm opening it up to anybody who'd like to join us. And it'll also give you a great insight into the kind of work we do in the Sweet Life. So it's rickiheller.com/love me. As always, if you have any questions or comments about this content, I love to hear from you. So you can leave a comment just below or email me at ricki@rickiheller.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your challenges are around this issue, and I will be sure to mention them and deal with them as well in the workshop tomorrow, or answer you right here on Facebook. All right, everybody, I hope you have a fabulous rest to your week. Take care.